everybody, welcome to another episode of Widgets and Wonders. This is my show about great products from small companies. Now today, we have a set of Gothic pre-painted ruins from GameMat.eu. Now this set is basically ready to go terrain out of the box, and you can buy it in a large and small format from the GameMat website, and you can basically just open it up and it's ready to go. It does a couple of clever things. It has some removable pieces that allow you to open and close line of sight, and the set all together gives you pretty much a 4x4 or even 6x4 table worth of terrain. So let's take a look at it right now. So here is the complete Gothic ruin set. There are two medium-sized pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4 small pieces. I guess these would actually be the medium pieces. So this would be 2 medium, 2 large, and 1 huge piece. And all together they can be rearranged, they all match, and they're all single part cast in resin and painted already. So they're all sprayed and dry brushed, so they're ready to go out of the box. Now, again, like I said, they all match each other style-wise, so you can put a small piece with the huge piece and have it look like a single ruin. You can put one of the medium pieces and one of the small pieces together and have it look like a ruin. Again, same thing with the mediums and the larges and the smalls, and you could even just have a small piece off as a little corner ruin by itself. Now, these are sort of in a generic Gothic style. So lots of arches, pillars, fallen pillars. These would work equally well for a World War II table. If you just wanted to have a blown out European city, they'd work great for 40K, as obviously 40K, the Gothic architecture is pretty much all there is in 40K. And it would work great for games like Mordheim, Age of Sigmar, anytime you want ruins. I think they are sort of the perfect in-between of fantasy, sci-fi, and just sort of a general ruined building thing, that they're pretty period free. I can see myself using these in a ton of different games, everything from Frostgrave to 40K, as a great sort of urban ruined thing. Now this is on the GameMat Fault Zone mat. So you can see here, it actually fits the mat quite nicely. You just kind of arrange it on the grid pattern around all of the shelling, and you've got a really cool looking set of ruins. Now here's the unique thing. It has removable pieces. So you see here the walls are filled in. You can actually pop these out and move them around. So you could have the bottom of this be open, or you could have one of these be closed. You can close the other side. You can even just have them as scatter, so have them kind of like lying around as if they've fallen in. And you could even paint them like windows. So because this could be a flat surface, or it could be a stained glass window, you can paint them as stained glass windows as well. So really versatile. The big pieces, the large pieces have 2 of those each, and then the huge piece has smaller ones. So these little guys right here, that can be popped out to make the side open or left in to make the wall intact, which I thought was super clever because it just means that the terrain piece isn't the same every single time. They'll fit just as well on this side as they will on this side over here. So some can be open, some can be closed, and you actually have a little more versatility in these big terrain pieces. And even just scatter terrain. You can have them laying out on the ground as extra bits of rubble to climb over top of and move around through. So they remind me a little bit of what was I going to say? Some of the Battlefield in the Box terrain that was made by Gale Force 9 years ago. I don't know if it's still available, but it's a lot more detailed. So the surface detail, the bricks, the arches, all that stuff is a lot. There's a lot more to it, basically, all these broken brickwork pieces and stuff like this. Whereas the Battlefield in the Box ones, they almost looked a little too intact, and they didn't have quite the texture that these have. Obviously, you could repaint them if you want to. They're basically ready primed, so if you wanted to throw some airbrushing down on them or whatever, they would be probably, you know, just as easy to paint with all that texture through dry brushing or through airbrushing or however you wanted to do it, even just throwing pigments and stuff down on it. But it is perfectly serviceable out of the box. So if you're not super into painting terrain, you just want something that's ready to go, this set, fill up a table. You can see here, this is a 6-foot mat, so it is pretty much, I mean, I've grouped it all together basically, but as far as standard 40K terrain go, where you kind of have a building here, building there, this gives you a great start to fill in a whole table full of terrain. So there you go, a great set of prefabricated, pre-painted terrain available from GameMat.eu. Complements their selection of mats perfectly. So if you wanted to have a Battlefield ready to go, it's kind of your one-click place to go on the internet to get yourself some great terrain for games like 40K, Frostgrave, Mordheim, whatever, along with a perfect mat to go with it. Now this set that I showed you today is I think the large bundle, and it should give you more than enough to get playing on at least a 4x4 table, but you can definitely stretch it if you got a little more terrain to a 6x4. And there will be a link in the video description below to check it out. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week for their Widgets and Wonders. And if you do know of a great product from a small company that deserves more attention, you can have them email me, guerrillaminiaturegames@gmail.com, or Facebook message me at facebook.com/outofthebasement of the streets. We'll see you next week. Till then, I'm Ash. Happy gaming.